And I don't give a damn if it upsets Larry, because it's not my job to keep Larry happy. My job is to make sure that woman gets a decent life, however long it may be. That's my job right now. And to
Yeah.
keep her calm, keep her quiet, keep everything on the down low so that she has a nice, peaceful passing. Anything that my mother did dies with her when she dies. Do you understand this? Okay. If she made a trust, and it's possible she may have made a trust, but if she did, it goes with her. It goes with her when she dies. This is my land. I am the blood heir of the estate. There is nobody higher than me. No one. Do you fucking understand plain English? Where are you getting all this bullshit about trust and all this bullshit about they're able to do what they want with my land? No, they cannot. No, they cannot. I took 2 years of real estate law. How much real estate law did you take? Oh yeah, zero. Okay, zero. There's a reason why the gods have me to take real estate law. There's a reason for that. And now I see why. At the time, I didn't know why. Now I know why. Because the motherfuckers are going to try to steal my land. Well, they can't do it. They can't do it. But if there is a trust, let's say mom does have a trust, it dies with her. When she dies, the trust is dissolved. Sorry. But the trust dies. It's gone. I am the blood heir. There is nobody else.
You can't just decide to sell it and then give the money to your kids. You can't. You
No,
can't
can't do
do
that.
that. From what
Nope,
I know,
can't do
I've
that.
never heard of that ever happening
No,
before.
no.
I don't.
Listen, they
Yeah,
can, they can, listen, they don't want to give it to the kids. That's a fucking lie. Okay. Let's get that out of the way
got it.
right now. They
Yeah,
are not wanting to give the land to the kids. That's a fucking lie. The property and everything upon it, everything over it and everything under it belongs to me, not my kids. It belongs to me. They can sit there and they can lie and they can cheat and they can steal, but they're not interested in saving it for the kids. They want the land for themselves. I'm sitting on an easy $3 million worth of land, and they fucking know it. And it's probably rich in natural resources anyway. It's got a damn gas well, for fuck's sake. So
yeah.
yeah,
I couldn't believe that.
they
Holy
want
shit!
the land. Well, they're not going to get my fucking land, so they might as well quit right now, because they're not going to get my land. They're not going to give it to my kids. They're not going to give it to a relative or a stranger or anyone else for that matter. The land belongs to me.
People think that you're going to be thrown out and just tossed out on the street, and the property's going to be sold. There's no judge. All you got to do is file for a hearing bond, and that there's no judge that's going to let that happen.
Right. Yeah.
What, throw her only son out on what grounds? They'll say on what grounds,
Right.
and there will be no grounds because.
No.
And I don't give a shit what that will says. That will is old, and she was apparently he said the will stated that it all goes to kids, all goes to kids.
Well,
I
I'm
think,
sorry, but that's not Kentucky law. See,
yeah,
the will is nice. It's nice to have a will, okay?
yeah,
But in the absence of any clear documentation, which the will is not clear, it is not
hmm,
clear,
yeah,
okay? Because they put the wrong legal names on there, okay?
yeah, yeah,
And so the will that as written is not
hmm,
correct, okay?
uh-huh.
So you have to go back to a will before the incorrect names were added to the will. Well, guess what will that is?
Hmm.
That will is my mom's will, which originally stated that I get everything. James Arnold Frost's name is not on that original will. The kids'
You
names
have
is
it.
not the kids' names is not on that original will because I didn't have any kids at the time. Okay, and
You
that's the
have that
will.
will, right?
That is the will you have to go. No, no, this is
Mhm.
law. Okay, I'm
Oh,
talking
okay,
law here. You have to
okay.
go back to the will before this one because this one is not complete. So you have to
Hmm.
go back to the will before that. Okay, well, what will was there before that? Okay, well, there was a will where Glenda was on it, or at least tried to get on it, or some
Hmm.
shit. That will is no longer valid because Glenda is dead. So you have to go to the will before that one. Well, what was the will before that one, Vaughn? Oh, that was a will where mom literally left everything to me if her and dad died. That's it. Period. End of story. Everything's left to me. Well, it just so happens that that coincides directly with Kentucky law, which states that everything goes to the blood heir anyway. Okay, so no, you have to go back to the will before the will that had Glenda on it, because Glenda's dead. Glenda is dead. I assure you. I assure you, she is very dead.
That was the
Okay.
half sister or
Yeah,
step
the
sister.
half sister. Well, half sister, quarter sister, not really sister, sister. Anyway, the point is that you can't use that one because she's dead. So you have to go back to the one before that one. And the one before that one was just simply saying that everything gets left to her child. Period. End of story. Well, that's me. Wow, what a shock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can't use the one they got now because they had the wrong legal names on it. And you can't use the one before this one because that had Glenda on it and Glenda's dead. So you have to go back to the will before Glenda. And the will before Glenda just has me getting everything. That's it. That's all it has. It's me getting everything. And that just happens to be Kentucky law. It's open and shut. That's the end of it. There's nothing they can do. They can go to court and try to fight it, but they're going to fail miserably because no judge is going to go against an established will. They're just not. They're gonna look at the will they got now, and they're going to say, nope, sorry, can't use that one. Then they're going to look at the will that had Glenda on it, and they're going to say, well, Glenda's dead. We can't use that will. So they're going to go
They're all no
back to the
good.
will before Glenda was added. See, Glenda was recently added. They're going to go back to the will before Glenda was added, which has me getting everything. And that's the only will that's going to be valid. You have to go back to a valid will, okay? You can't just use the will they got now because it's not valid. And you
Yeah.
can't use the will that had Glenda on it because she's dead. So that's not valid. You have to go back
Yeah.
to a will that is valid, okay? Well, the
Yeah.
last valid will just had me. That's it. As long as he keeps running his mouth to secular, I'm getting madder by the minute, and the madder I
Yeah.
get, the more I'm willing to call the sheriff and have his POA annulled,
Well, I've seen
and then
so
and then
many
he can and
wills.
then he can suck my big red one because all I got to do, listen, as blood heir of
Yeah.
the estate and executor of my mother's will, I don't even need a judge or a court date or anything. All I have to do is call the sheriff's office and say, hey, the POA that Larry Frost is in possession of is no longer valid. It is defunct, defunct, defunct. And that
Wow.
is it. That's all I have to do. I don't have to go to in front of a judge. I don't have to get a court case. I don't have to do shit. All I have to do
Mhm.
is call the sheriff's office and say, hey, Larry Frost POA is no longer valid, and it is no longer valid. And if you doubt
Yeah.
me, Google up the power of an executor. Google up the power of the blood heir. We've got
Yeah.
power. The blood heir is the king of the totem pole. Then there's the executor, then a POA, and then everybody else. That is the
Yeah.
pecking order. Okay, the
Yeah.
blood heir tells the executor what to do, and then the executor tells the POA what to do, and then the
Yeah.
POA reports back to the executor, and then the
Yeah.
executor reports back to the blood heir. That is the pecking order. That is the chain of command. And any moron can look it up online and see that I'm telling the truth. All right.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't give a damn if it upsets Larry because it's not my job to keep Larry happy. My job is to make sure that woman gets a decent life, however long it may be. That's my job right now.
Mhm.
And to
Yeah.
keep her calm,
Yeah.
keep her quiet, keep everything on the down low so that she has a nice, peaceful passing. Because that's
Mhm.
what I want for my mother. I don't want a bunch of people up there surrounding her, doing this shit, playing 20 questions and all this shit and getting her all upset and riled up and stuff. No, fuck that. No, I want her to have a nice, peaceful transition into the afterlife.
Is she
That is
stable right now? Is she stable?
well, kind of, sort of. Them going up there and starting a bunch of drama up there, could speed up the process. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get her
Yeah.
upset. You get her upset. You could aggravate that clot in her brain, and it could cause her to hemorrhage or something. Who knows? You know, you want her to remain as calm and quiet as possible. That's what you want. She's got a clot in her brain. And you don't want to upset that fucking thing by getting her all upset, getting her all worked up, and all this shit. No. You want her to be nice and calm and quiet and peaceful. That's the key right there. Okay. And that's what I promised, and that's what I intend to deliver. Okay. And if people don't like it, they can suck my big red one, because that's the way it's going to be. Because his POA ain't going to be. His POA doesn't. Listen, when mom dies, his POA dies with it. His POA.
Oh, is that what happens?
Fuck yeah. That POA is not going to exist when mom dies. Yeah. It's not going to exist when mom dies. But I'm going to get rid of it sooner, I think. So,
Siobhan, let me ask you this. How many rental properties does your mom own, as far as properties that are paid for and she rents out?
We got 3 properties.
Wow.
We got 3 properties. We got 2 here on Crane, and then we got Larry's. So we got 3 properties.
Okay.
He owes me rent. Oh, he's got money. He's got my mom's stimulus checks and SSI, remember?
Oh, man, that's
He's got thousands of dollars of my mother's money. And I think he should return that money to me forthwith. Well, like I said, he ain't gonna do it. The sheriff will have to go over there and get it, because he ain't gonna give it back. The sheriff will have to go over there and get it. But that's all right. It's all good. It's all good. I mean, if nothing else, we can call up to Corbin and let's have a new card made. No big deal.
Yeah, good.
No big deal. Have a new card made and have it sent to me.